Webcams are stupid. Oh my god. Sitting here for 2 hours trying to get it to where I can not record in a box because whenever I go to widescreen, the frame rate drops to 15 per second. And also, I forgot to brush my hair. Oh man, give me 1 second. Okay, better. But yo, I am just so tired of this. So if you guys have any webcam or camera recommendations, doesn't even have to be USB, HDMI will also work. I need something. It's time for that PK upgrade. I am tired of this Logitech C910 crapping out on me. So we gotta upgrade. We gotta find something new. But yeah. Yo, what's up guys? PKSparkxx here. Welcome to my recap where I am just going to be pretty much talking about my past 3 travels. As you guys know, over the past 2 to 3 weeks, depending on when this actually goes live. I don't know when it's going to go live. Let's just be real. But what is it? I've been to E3, I've been to Apex, I've been to too many games. And it's a lot. It's definitely a lot that I've been running through. Now, I went on Twitter and I asked you guys, what do you guys want to hear me talk about first? Everybody has been asking me to talk about Apex. If you guys did not know, in Apex, not only did I do casting and commentary, not only did I do interviews for Team Bfuteki and Team Spooky as well, but also I got to the top 8 of Pokken. And it was a really enthralling experience, to say the least. So I'm going to tell you guys about everything that you guys have been wanting me to know, wanting me to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is casting. You guys know that I am starting to really make strides towards being a real commentator in the Smash scene. I'm not even looking for like anything of like national notoriety or anything. I want to be able to, if necessary, I can go out there and do my best to provide a story and provide, and paint the picture of the match that you are seeing. I want to be able to give backgrounds on the players. I want to be able to give insights and a different point of view on the matches, whether it's Smash or Pokken. I really want to do this. I've been doing practice at Brothers Calamity for a while, and when Apex said that they were doing open casting for commentators, I'm like, why don't I give it a shot? There's no reason why I shouldn't. So I made my commentary reel, which I don't know if I ever showed you guys, but if you guys are interested, I'll make sure to link my commentary reels for my Smash and Pokken in the comment section below so you guys can check that out and tell me what you think. But I made my commentary reel just to be like, let's just do it, because it's one of those things where the way I see it, if you want something done, you have to make sure you open your mouth and say something. Nobody's gonna come to you and make things happen for you. You have to let them know what you're about, and we have to see if you can come onto some even ground. I put my commentary reel out there, and by sheer surprise, but glee as well, they accepted me. They said, thank you for submitting, we're gonna have you in for commentary. And I'm like, what? I've done one regional event, and that was Smash Philadelphia, an event that I made myself, and I didn't even do top 8. Like, I'm part of the Smash Philadelphia team, but I didn't even commentate top 8 for singles. I did do for doubles, but not singles. So just that fact alone is just wild. I was doing locals. I went to Xanadu once. I was really homegrown. I mean, yes, I've done YouTube commentary for a while, but still, they grabbed me and I'm like, holy crap, I am going from a local scene with 1 regional tournament under my belt to a national event, which it is a national event, even though not that many people came out. I think we had like 255 or somewhere around there for Smash Wii U. It still was a huge international event. As you guys know, Umeki Renai and I believe Naitono was there as well. So it was an insane event, and I got to commentate over it, and I got to cast with somebody who I have a lot of respect for, somebody who does the darn thing, Dire on Fire. We did the very first opening block for Smash Singles on Saturday. It was 10 a.m. The tournament went live, and we were there. Phenomenal experience, and I'm just so happy that I was able to do that. I was nervous though, and when I asked everybody on Twitter, what do you guys think? So many of you guys told me that my nervousness came across, and I hate that. But at the same time, it's just how it is. Like, I was nervous. I was truly nervous about being on a big stage like that and having my voice being heard by so many people. It's my first time ever being like that. I mean, even people who watch Xanadu, it's still like a local event. Like, you can say like a semi-regional if you want to talk about the names, but still, like, it's a local event. Smashadelphia, that was a bit bigger, but we were also new, so I didn't have that pressure on me. Apex is a name that was already known, featuring players of high caliber and high regard that I had to cast over. I was freaking terrified. But I did the darn thing for what it was worth. Dyer said it was good. The people said it was good. Even D1 was watching some of my matches and he gave me some tips. He also said that the major thing he gave to me was that I speak really quickly, which you guys know that whenever I have something to say and I get excited, I start rambling off and I start speaking my words in a sentence that I'm sure most people can't understand. So I have to stop myself, scale it back, and then re-deliver it in a slow manner. So that's one thing he gave me a tip on, is just slowing that down. But otherwise, even he said my commentary was good. So all I gotta do is keep on this grind, keep improving my knowledge for the game, so I can deliver even more knowledge and also learn more scenes. But I'm starting to do that by traveling more so and watching more so events. I actually start studying Smash tournaments now when it comes to Apex. But for, like I said, to get back on point though, when it comes down to Apex commentary, it was a blast, and I was going to do another block with Koopa, but then my boy YeroK ended up worming his way in and took my block from me because I was already on with Dyer from 10 a.m. So I was mad about that. I was set to go live with Koopa, someone who I've been wanting to cast with for a while, but I haven't had the opportunity. But my boy YeroK just, like I said, wormed his way in, and Beef was like, well, you're already on for 2 hours, so let somebody else get on. The people loved him as well, and I'm happy that he got the exposure and experience as well. I actually should have asked him how he felt about that, because I know that was his first national event. So I'm gonna have to talk to him and ask him how he felt. Like, did he feel any nervous or any nervousness or any pressure about that? So I don't know, I had to talk to him about that. But that aside though, after my block, it didn't look like I was gonna be casting for anybody else because everything else was full. However, an opportunity came arise with Primo Gaming. At Primo Gaming, you guys saw that during Apex, I was doing interviews with players alongside Koopa. And Primo, once again, I got a compliment on my interview skills, which is making me so freaking happy to know that it's weird. Like, I'm actually an introvert. Like, I'm not big on socializing, but I do like talking. So getting compliments on when I am talking and when I'm being personable and social is mind-blowing to me. It's such a good, positive thing for me. Like, just personally, I truly appreciate that. I'm really happy that people approved of how I just did my thing, because like, people were trying to tell me, you know, say it like this. I'm just like, I can't do that. But if you let me do the intro my own way, you know, I can rock out. And he let me do it, and he loved it, and the people loved it, and it's just happy. I'm happy about that. I got to interview Gonzalez, like the great Gonzalez. I got to interview Supergirl Kells, and I was going to interview Void, and it started out being a really great interview. But the camera started dying, like the wireless receiver started overheating, so the signal, when it was going back to the computer, it was dying. Like, it was breaking up and it was just bad. So I'm upset about that because we couldn't do any more interviews for that day. But for what it was worth, people said that they did enjoy it. And again, positive feedback is always positive. I'm actually always anticipating somebody to say something critically constructive. Like, I want to be told what was wrong or what was bad about me, and so I can be aware of it if I'm not aware of it already. Like I said earlier, I already know that I need to improve my knowledge of the game. But otherwise, I do expect to hear something positive, negative, but I haven't been hearing that lately. I still anticipate it, but maybe I should just believe that, hey, I already got it locked down. All I gotta do is just learn more. Like, the practice is already there, so we have to see. I gotta get more experience and whatnot out the way. But for what it was worth, oh, and speaking of which, like I said, I was talking about Void. All of the top players I got to meet, I know a lot of you guys may think that a lot of them are like antisocial or like unapproachable. They really aren't. Like, I was actually hanging out and just talking with these guys. It's phenomenal. Just like, they didn't even really know me, but they were just like, man, we know of you. You can come in, we can play, and it's just awesome. Void is somebody who is like, I don't know if it comes across, but he is a really nice guy. Like, really nice guy. So if you guys ever get the opportunity to see Void, I'm telling you, if you just walk up and say, hi, my name is blah blah blah, I appreciate this, and start talking to him, I'm almost positive that you'll get like a response back from him. He's a nice guy, like, just genuinely nice. I feel like if we hung out one day, I'd have a good time that day with Void. Like, he's just a good kid. So then Saturday night, we didn't really do anything. I just chilled and relaxed. This is when I was getting my Pokken gaming in, and that was one hell of an experience. Like, that was something else. I got to top 32 actually, you know what? I was top seeded in my pool. I had to win one match, and then I got to top 32. I'm like, oh, all right, everyone else had to play 2, maybe 3, but I was top seeded. I got to just 1 match. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I had to win 2 more matches to get to top 8. So I won my top 16 match really easily. Actually, no, scratch that. No. I'm wrong. I'm mistaking it right. I'm mistaking it. My top 32 match was versus Crazy Little J. You guys already know him. Kelsey's little brother. Actually, he's not even Crazy Little J anymore. He's just Jay. I miss Crazy Little J. I miss when he was crazy and little. Now he's just a J, and I don't appreciate it. He even added an extra Y to be fancy. But in any case, I faced off against him for top 16, and that was actually a really good matchup. I don't think he actually had the Chandelure experience, but it was Chandelure versus Mewtwo, and we were just going back and forth at it. But eventually, because I already have defenses in my mind about how to deal with Mewtwo, and he didn't really know how to deal with Chandelure, I was able to pretty much get through him. But he did learn a lot. As a matter of fact, by the time he got to the last round, he was starting to put up an offense, and I had to start playing a lot more defensively and not putting out so many hitboxes, but more so trying to react. Because that's where Chandelure lives, is reacting more so than just controlling your opponent. Unless they're like Machamp, then Machamp, you could just throw lasers and whisper all day and have fun. But regardless, it was a really good matchup. And then to get the top 8 from top 16, I had to face Cloud. Now, this experience versus Cloud was like none other I have had in Pokken so far. I have faced Charizards before. He's a Charizard player from New York. However, he has a style that I was not used to. This man was utilizing flight cancels phenomenally. I could not pin down his location. And the thing about Chandelure is that a lot of her attacks, barring a short hop, jumping laser, and dual phase, or even field phase, most of them don't hit between the ground or the air. So I'm trying to put out these hitboxes, but when I would throw out a Wisp, he would just jump over it. When I throw out a Flame Burst, he would just use Fire Punch and get towards me. It was really tough to fight him, and it came down to a last hit, last situation, and last hit, last move situation, and Cloud won. He beat me in the last round. It was a great match though, and I'm not mad at that matchup. Unfortunately, to get into top 8 again, I had to do another matchup, and it was against somebody who I play at Brothers Calamity for Pokkén Tournament, which is plural, a Garchomp main. And I do have a lot of experience against them, as well as the Garchomp matchup with my Chandelure, so I was able to go through them, and I got in the top 8 on the losers bracket, on the loser side of the bracket. So Sunday comes, and I am ready, I am nervous, I am terrified, and I'm tweeting out on Twitter, I'm going to lose, because you know who I had to face in my first round of losers? Apple Boom, a Gardevoir main. You guys have seen my matchups, Chandelure versus Gardevoir before. It's a tough matchup because Gardevoir throws out these projectiles that beat out Chandelure all the time. And if you want to play against Gardevoir as Chandelure, you have to close the gap, but then you can't get too close because Gardevoir also has a tremendous melee game. And when you're fighting Gardevoir, you have to make sure that you're also avoiding all the projectiles that she has. And then you like to use counter canceling to approach, but then Gardevoir even has an attack like a discus thing she throws on the ground that cuts through counters. It pierces them, which means that if you predict wrong and you put up a counter when that projectile is coming, you're taking damage, extra damage, because you went for a critical hit, a counter attack, so you get a critical hit, and you just get hurt. So mentally, I was already expecting to lose. I have never beaten Apple Boom before. We go into this matchup, we shake our hands. This man, Apple Boom, is a showman. He is a showman, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, this man is just something else. But we get up there and I ask him, because he wasn't showing it. I knew I was, but he wasn't showing it. So I turned to him, I said, yo, Apple Boom, are you nervous at all? He looked at me and said, of course I am. This is top 8 at Pokken, at a national. I'm like, you're right. And at that moment, knowing that I wasn't the only one nervous, it actually calmed me down. So I appreciate that for Apple Boom for just his honesty of it. But we get into the match, and I had to listen to advice that I got from Catfight before. Try Electrode, because Electrode, Electro, if you get hit by any projectile, Electro just runs forward and blows up your enemy. It's a really fun concept. Not to mention, Electro is a disrupt support Pokemon as well, which means that if you're going to be hit by an attack, you pretty much have invincibility, but then you get hit, then, you know, the attack goes out. Similar to Fennekin, similar to Umbreon, and Pokemon like that. Pretty much if you have an X over their name, they're a disrupt assist, and it gives you like invincibility or invulnerability, however you want to word it. But in any case, I went for Electrode, and we're fighting. Like I said, I've never beaten him before. I have never gone so hard with Gardevoir or versus Gardevoir in my life. I went straight in, throwing my projectiles and making sure that I stuck to my game plan, which I kept repeating to myself. Play reactively, because Gardevoir, while she's faster, Gardevoir, Chandelure, if he jumps at the right time or she jumps at the right time, you can punish Gardevoir with a laser almost every single time. If you're in the right range in dual phase and they go for Magical Leaf, you can punish them with a Hex. So it's a really good move for Chandelure if you're just in the right range. However, like I said, the projectile that Gardevoir throws out just hurts. I quickly go up to 2-0. I'm like, holy crap, I'm about to 2-0 Apple, or 3-0 Apple Boom, who I have never beaten before. Let's freaking go. So we go into game 3. This man adjusts. Of course he's going to adjust, change his game plan up, because it's not working for the past 2 sets. So he ends up playing a little differently, started being a lot more defensively, and actually reacting more so to me, because I was trying to close it out. In my head, I'm just like, yo, we're almost there, just close it out now. And I started making mistakes. It goes up, he wins the 3rd round. So we go into game 4. Mind you, all top 8 sets are best of 5. So we go into set 4. Once again, he starts getting a lot more aggressive on me, and I can't pinpoint him down. He wins set 2. We're in set 3, set 5. 2-2, going in, never beat Apple Boom. We're on the stage, everyone's cheering for us. Was it top 8 Pokken? People are watching, and like I said, I have never beaten him before. This is my first time in a tournament situation where I have gone to the top of the stage, and I am in top 8 at a major event. I have never been in this position before in my life, but I had to tone everything out. Fortunately, shout out to Astros, they had the headsets, so I didn't have to worry about any sounds coming through from the audience or any. I just had to focus on the gameplay sound, and I'm just sitting there focusing. Game 5, I take it. I take the first set. I'm sorry, I take the first game. If you watch the video, you can see me. I am pounded on my leg. One more. Let's go. Holy crap. I want y'all to know, I won set 5 due to a timeout, and I wasn't even trying. I was sitting there defending. I was making sure that every single move was appropriate. I wasn't even aware of the time, and normally I am. As a Chandelure player, I normally am aware of the time, because you can cheese anyone out with a whole bunch of lasers to their guard and then drop and minimize. You can really cheese them out in like the last 20 seconds to really claim the win by a timeout. However, I wasn't focused on that. We were fighting, suddenly time up, and I look at the brackets, the health bars. I'm at blue, he's in red. I won the set 5 2-0, and I beat Apple Boom to go to round 2 losers 3-2. I have never beaten him before, ever, and I kid you not, on stage I almost cried, because it meant that much to me. I have never done anything like that before. I'm glad that my first performance, I was able to at least go past the first round in top 8. Mind you, it was on the loser side. I didn't want to be there, but again, Cloud put up a fantastic Charizard that I never experienced. I gotta play you again, by the way. But I'm happy about it. I am really happy about that. And it was really just something for me. And like I said, I had to just wipe the small tear that was generating. I was happy. I was happy that I did that, and I went up to top 5 in Pokken. So again, it came at the expense of my friend Apple Boom. But I mean, you hate fighting a friend, like in a tournament, someone you play with, someone you talk to. Like him and I have been in the game since the very beginning, so it sucks that it had to happen. But I mean, competitive wise, we were both good sports. At least I like to think I was. And I was just happy and reveling in the moment. I've never been that place before. So we get to round 2. In losers, my second match, going to try and make the top 4, and I have to face the man that Catfight beat in winners in order to take it, and it was Men's, a Shadow Mewtwo player. So I'm like, okay, if Catfight can do it, I can do it. However, my Shadow Mewtwo experience from 1.2 does not quite carry over to 1.3. I had very little experience because, as I said, I was at E3 when patch 1.3 came out. So I was not able to really play Shadow Mewtwo besides a little bit I was able to do online. However, I have no, local experience. I faced Men's, and again, I'll make sure to link my matches in the description below as well so you guys can watch that. But I faced Men's, and unfortunately, I get 6-0'd. I don't win a single round. Why? Because Shadow Mewtwo is kind of garbage. Nothing against Men's. Men's is definitely a phenomenal player. My opinion is that Shadow Mewtwo is just a little bit broken right now. His burst, he gets it like 2 times a round, which is stupid. Cresselia helps him out tremendously, not only by getting HP back, but also hugely filling up his synergy gauge. What is it? Shadow Mewtwo is such a threat because you pretty much have to stay in guard. Because if you try to do anything and you misread, then he is just activating his burst and you're getting caught by it. And next thing you know, you're having a giant negative energy ball slammed onto your head. Freaking Omega Shenron Frieza Fusion wannabe. Anyway. But in any case, it was a great match to him. I got bodied and I got exposed for having very little knowledge about how to really fight a really good Shadow Mewtwo. So that's something I'm going to have to practice and figure out. I also realized, I analyzed Catfight's match versus my match, and I realized one thing that Catfight was doing more was actually using straight counter. I was using regular Smog to do it, but the counter timing with Smog is a little funky, and I'm not a big fan of it because it can just break sometimes, like it don't activate right. Even though the animation came out, you don't get the counter animations, so that's something I have to work on. It's just actually dropping more standard counters instead of small counters against Shadow Mewtwo. And I mean, I can do it, I just gotta figure it out, that's all that is. But that was my Apex experience. Afterwards, I stood there and I was cheering hard for Catfight, who ended up taking it over Cyberman 65 in I think game 10 or game 9 situation. Like Cyberman reset it, and it was just exciting, but he did it. And then we got a picture with everybody of all the top 8, and I'm just very happy about it. And I'm happy to have been on that top 8 stage, and I want to make that happen again. So now that I know how that feels, it's pretty much like becoming a Super Saiyan God. Once you know how it feels, you want it again, and you're going to strive for it. That's how I feel right now. I'm going to be on top 8 on another stage. I don't know when and I don't know where, but I'm going to be top 8 on another stage. And I promise you, I'm going to make sure that I remain a big name for Chandelure players, because you already know, souls need to be claimed. Hey. But Apex was a trip, man. Apex was a trip and experience that I will never forget. I wanted that medal, though. I wanted that medal. Or the trophy. I really wanted the trophy. I wanted one of them. But I played as well as I could. If you guys enjoyed this video, demolish the like button for me. Your support is greatly appreciated. I'll be back here soon with another vlog. I'll be talking about how Too Many Games went for me. And at Too Many Games, I had my first solo panel. And I had an idea, and I think it presented pretty well. I'll be uploading that one later on this week, so if you guys are interested, again, make sure you guys just stay subscribed. Comment in the comment section below about what you thought about Apex and what you thought about my matches, my commentary, all that and more, everything I said in this vlog. But with that all said and done, that's my time for you all today. Sorry about being in the box. As soon as I get my webcam to stop dropping to 15 frames, I'll be back in due time. Or I just may, I got time. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay hot, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.